Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 5 of the shout out week. We're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree farmhouse organizers for your craft room. One is brought to you by Nicole at This Week's Nest. I love her. She's amazing. The other one is brought to you by Rosemary from FABEDhacks. She also is very innovative. The first one we're going to do, we're going to need some wire baskets. Rosemary used the plastic ones. And you're going to use turkey grabbers. I know, that's what I'm saying, outside the box thinking. And I'm going to use some Grosgrain Ribbon in black, but you can use whatever you want or don't embellish it. It's entirely up to you. For the next project, we're going to use these Dollar Tree cups. We're going to use 4, so you need 2 packs, as well as this tube. This tube is from the middle of Dollar Tree mesh. Don't throw them out. They're heavy duty. And this one boxed art that says groom, I picked it because it's black, or you could just paint it. We're going to paint the inside. You can use a Sharpie to age your containers or black paint, and one of the little metal buckets from this set. Okay, and of course some hot glue with Gorilla Glue sticks I use for some heavy duty work. Okay, so first thing, when you take these labels off, keep the twist ties. When Rosemary made this, she used zip ties. She also used the plastic baskets that I'll show here. And what I like about the plastic baskets is you get more than one for $1. But of course, I just wanted to make mine a little different, as always, right? So first thing I'm going to do is going to take the small basket, and I'm going to take a wire cutter, and I'm just going to trim really close to the top of where the wire meets the top braces on the 2 end pieces in the middle. And we're just going to loosen it. We're not going to bend it down or anything, because what we're going to do is just cheat a little bit, and that's how we're going to get this handle up inside the wire. Okay, and we're going to add a little hot glue to it later, plus with the ribbon. It's not going to come out, I promise. Okay, we're going to do that to both sides, and then, and this is harder to do on camera than you have, trust me, then you'll have to do it at home. It'll be easier. But we're going to take the white twist tie, the really long one, cut it in half, and we're going to use that to basically attach the basket to the turkey holder armature. Now, it holds really well, but to secure it, we added a little bit of the Gorilla Hot Glue on the twist ties when we're done, just to give it a little bit more strength. Now, depending on what you want to store on the bottom shelf will determine where you actually place your bottom shelf, or if you want your top shelf to go all the way to the top so that you could put tall things in the bottom shelf. Keep that in mind when you're building it, okay? So we're just going to do that at the 4 points where the turkey grabber handle meets the top bar that's going across. And then you can adjust it left and right before you add your glue. Just make sure it is centered. Okay? And you're going to repeat that for the other side. What I ended up actually doing, and this is in full disclosure, is I didn't want to use more wire because we've been using wire a lot. But obviously you could use zip ties, you could use the wire, you could do actually whatever you want. So what I did was I took the twist tie off of the second set. I bought 2 sets of these baskets, and I just borrowed the twist ties off of there. And I also have some that I feel like I'm a 90-year-old lady who just keeps things. Like I lived through the Depression. But actually, these twist ties that hold on ornaments and lots of things from the Dollar Tree. I have a little mason jar on my desk, and I keep them. And you'll see me pull one out in a minute. So there was also 2 different size twist ties holding the turkey grabbers on, so I kept those as well to use them in this project as well. Okay, so then once you have the top on, then we're just going to secure the bottom. I wanted my bottom to rest on the table, so I'm just going to secure it once it's on the table with the legs on the table. Then I'm going to go and secure it to the legs, again centering it left and right. Okay, and all I've done with these ones is I've taken really long twist ties, and I've done how we've done with the wire before, you know, come in from one side, cross it over the intersection, go back on the other side, and then twist it closed. And you do that to all 4 points as well. And then as far as the what to store in here is concerned, when Rosemary did her project, it was for her friend's coffee bar. So she put labels on the front. The top one was like coffee and tea. Well, the bottom was coffee, top one was tea. But then she said she might make one for her to have her supplements. So I really wanted to put labels on here and put this on my coffee bar. But as soon as it was finished, I looked through it and saw all of my chalk paint and thought, why not? And you'll see when I put it on the end that the chalk paint actually fits really nice. Now, it might not if you have more than me, obviously, but just an option as well, okay? Now, before I added the glue, it did have a little bit of a wobble to it, but I kind of pushed it to its maximum wobbleness, and it really even wasn't going to fall down. It fell, like it would, not fell over, but it leaned over. But even without the glue, it didn't fall down. But, you know, that's why we're going to add the glue for extra added support. But if you're planning on moving this around a lot, I'm guessing you may want to use zip ties or E6000, any of that stuff that works for you, okay? All right, so now what I've decided to do was to add this this Grosgrain ribbon. I just wanted it to be black and white. You guys know me. I didn't paint the armatures, which is another thing. I left them silver. I thought they looked nice. You know, silver, chrome, galvanized, all that stuff is really Farmhouse as well. It goes with my style, let's put it that way. So what I noticed is on the small basket, there is 9 posts across the front and like basically 3 posts across the sides, which makes it perfect for weaving in and out. So instead of, my original plan was to start in the middle and then weave it around and then make a bow in the front. But then afterwards I realized that I wanted it to look a little neater. So what I did was I ended up weaving 2 layers, and they're not opposing layers. They're both basically going to be the same exact weave pattern. But I ended up weaving 2 layers and gluing the start and finish of each layer to the top and bottom baskets. And I wanted to make sure that it was important that I went around the corners, because these baskets have a really nice sharp corner on that top rim, but from underneath there actually isn't a corner. So we took the ribbon and we went over around what would be the corner, basically under the center of the side, the center post of the side, and then over the next 2 posts, and then under and over and under, and repeated. The only thing that is different is the first example I'm going to show you. I tried 1 continuous weave, basically a starting point, weaved it around, scooched it up 1 level on the side, and then ended it. I ended up undoing that because I didn't like the way the ribbon was laying. So for the bottom one, I ended up doing 2 separate pieces, and I glued the start and finished. But also on the bottom, the sides do not have an odd number of posts. So what I ended up having to do was, not a problem, is I did everything the exact same except the corner. For the corner, instead of going over the 2 corner posts, I went under the 1 corner post that was on the long side, and I went over, on the short side, and then I went over the corner post that was on the long side, and then I continued to weave in and out. And hopefully you guys will see that when I get to it, and it's not as confusing as I'm saying. And again, I apologize that my camera work is like lousy these days. It seems when I look up at the camera that you could see the whole table. Actually, what it is more likely is I'm pulling the work too close to my body, and I keep forgetting, and I really apologize. I'm supposed to be a quote-unquote professional at this point. But if it was anything really difficult with detail, I'm sure that I would share that with you, of course. So here you can just see up close that I'm just taking the end of the ribbon and I'm weaving it in and out. You don't need an up close slow breakdown of it because it's really just that simple. And the piece that I started, I added a little bit of glue to the white, basically the white rib that goes up and down. And then I actually wrapped the ribbon around and ended up gluing the ribbon to itself, but still had a little bit of glue on the wire just so it would hold in place better. Okay. And then when I ended it, I either depending on how it was ending, but I ended up gluing it to the inside of the basket, to the piece of ribbon, but on the inside of the basket, just so it had a more finished appearance. Now, of course, I was thinking I really wanted to do this with the buffalo check ribbon from Hobby Lobby, but I tried to keep it all Dollar Tree products, and I do love this black grosgrain ribbon. It's very French country in my opinion, and that's really how my home is that French country farmhouse. Now this is the part where I really feel like I messed up with the camera work, and I'm sorry you missed most of it, but what I did was I took a piece of the leftover ribbon. It was about 1/4 of what was left over, and I tucked it from the inside of the basket over the 2 pieces of ribbon that were already on the top layer and under the silver handle. And then I wrapped them one time around the silver handle and then tied a bow actually that came through the outside. And then I dog-eared the 2 ends of the bow, and I repeated that on both sides. And I am sorry that again that the camera was not catching that, but it really was quite simple. It's just giving a little bit of a finished detail, covering up the 2 twist ties that are on the top, and just adding a little bit of delicate love to the outside of this piece. So here I am loading it with all of the chalk paint and some Mod Podge. There you can see the bow is a little bit better, but because it's black, it's hard to see. And as you can see, it holds 5 small jars of chalk paint at the top, and then the 8 ounce jars on the bottom as well. Okay. So for this next project, we're going to use this box art. And again, this is the one that says groom, and I picked it just because it was black, and I did buy them for projects. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove the wooden hanger. Now it is mostly stuck to the big board, not so much to the small edge, but once you get it pried from the big board, it'll come away from the small edge much easier. But just be careful that you don't crack your sides. Okay. Now I'm just trying to find the center. I'm drawing straight lines, not so straight lines, from corner to corner just to find the very center. And then I'm gluing that piece of tube that was in the inside of Dollar Tree mesh down. I made sure you get one that's is nice and firm. And like I said, I've saved these for projects. I've actually used them in projects before as well. I put plenty of the Gorilla Hot Glue around, and then on it, then around it, and then I dumped a whole bunch on the inside. I just went straight down, held my glue gun as straight as possible, went straight down. And then, as soon as the glue was dry on the outside, I went ahead and I painted it. This is some flat chalk black paint that I was gifted from, I believe it's Folk Art, and I just went ahead and I spread it all over. I got just the edges of the box. I didn't go on the sides because they were already black, but you can if you want to. If you want to give it a whole another coat, you can. Now Nicole made this with 4 leftover yogurt containers, a old piece of cardboard, and an old tube that she had, as well as an old olive jar lid. But I, of course, always try to do something a little bit different. And I don't eat. I mentioned it in the haul when I bought these cups. It would take me forever to eat 152 ounces of yogurt or whatever it is. So I bought these cups, and this was another inspiration from one of her projects. She actually took these cups and did a little bathroom tray, which I loved. She just took a little bit of the black chalk paint, and because the brush was already wet, I just rubbed it along the rims. Then when I was done rubbing it along the rims, I went ahead and I hit spots to make it look a little bit more like the chips. And then I did the same thing with that little bucket. I took it around the rims. I did it on its handle, as well as a little bit on the bottom. And you can do it. I kind of showed you there for a second. She had done the top rim and the bottom of the top and the bottom of that ridge that goes around the top of the cup. So I just wanted to show you how that would look. And then you glue your little bucket on top, and those cups just sit in there. But I wanted to show you that if you Don't pull it up by the bucket, but you can pull it up by the post. You can hold it by the post if you want to. So just to show you, you can lift it around if you want to. And these have heavy scissors and stuff in them. But be mindful if you want, you know, if you're going to use a lot of heavy stuff, go ahead. Maybe use a different glue. But the Gorilla Glue sticks seem to hold really well. Okay? And that's it for these two projects. I have links to the ladies' description, links to the ladies' videos in the description box down below. So please go ahead and check them out. Give them some love. Tell them I sent you. And hopefully you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in making either one of these projects or their techniques. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!